Welcome to our viewers, listeners, wherever you are. Today, the Cricket Show USA welcomes you to our evening chat, wrapping up the final of the FIFA Women's World Cup. As we've mentioned to our listeners previously, we are lovers of cricket, but football, soccer has a very, very special place in our hearts and minds. And so we have been following the soccer FIFA World Cup tournament. And tonight we're hoping to give our final thoughts as the tournament comes to an end. But with me tonight is Coach Jatin Patel and Cricket Show President Leon Francis. And of course, I'm Denise Heath. So good evening to all. Good evening, Leon. Good evening, Coach.
Good evening.
A pleasant good evening to you both, Coach and Dennis.
Now, as we are aware, several weeks ago, the FIFA World Cup started, and we've been watching the progress of the various teams along the way. We've seen some exciting matches from teams that were not really believed to be up to the par of World Cups. You know, the teams like Jamaica, Morocco, South Africa, and they have shown their mettle by coming to this tournament and have certainly opened some eyes because of the performances that we have seen from them. Favorite to reach the final in our case, we thought, at least I certainly thought, that England, France, the Netherlands, and the USA may well be on the favorite ladder. As it was, it turned out that that wasn't to be. Instead, we had a series of upsets. May I call it upsets? They probably weren't upsets. They were more like hard-fought battles between teams who had shown that they were equal to the higher ranked teams. And certainly teams such as Nigeria and Colombia and others surprised a great deal, many folks. But that's my quick overall wrap. We've gone through the semi-final, the quarterfinals, and the final, which was played yesterday or last night, would have been the final between England and Spain. Leon, what's your quick overview?
Well, I was very impressed with the final. England, I had favored, but they did not come out firing. And you could tell from the onset that Spain came out to win. They had more possession than England did. And eventually they scored one. And what was remarkable, that the English goalkeeper saved the penalty, and that in itself was a big thing. I thought Spain deserved to win. They played the better game, and they were in possession more. And of course, they squandered one by not scoring that penalty. But I think the match was well refereed, and all in all, possession, for me, time, space, and support in soccer are the key. If you can have the time to play the shots, and you have the support among your players, and every time England had a possession, the Spanish ladies, they were able to intercept and keep it for a while. And I know eventually one would have gone in. And they were lucky. Very impressed with the 19-year-old. She was named the youngest player of the tournament, of course. English goalie, she got the Golden Glove. And the young lady from Spain got the player of the tournament. Good incentive. And again, I'm so impressed with FIFA, the manner in which they distribute the funds, because the Spanish Association got a big haul, chunk of the pie. All in all, they earned some 10,500,000, with each player earning $270,000, and it goes on. And FIFA paid $110 million to all the players in the tournament up to the 32nd spot. So that tells you something, and it lends me to believe that other sports have got to follow. They have to do something, get something in place to raise the funding for the players, because you see the energy that these people exert. It was worth repeating, and might be a call for them to have a tournament every 2 years. Who knows how this went off in a bang. So that's my take. I tip my hat to FIFA. They did a wonderful tournament. I didn't hear of an incident of consequence. No one was really. I thought England, though, young James, I forget to mention this, young James, she scored some 3 goals in the tournament, and she was suspended for whatever it was, what it seemed to be, but they did not start her. I felt that she should have been the one to start, and they did not start her. So I think when she came on in the second half, it made a big difference, because the Spanish ladies were not able to possess as much. But it's over with. England is satisfied, and the manager, Serena, she is going to be staying with the team. There were rumors that she may be asked to manage the senior men's team, but that was not to be. And also there were rumors that she'll be going to the USA, but that did not come true as well. So I said, I tip my hats off to FIFA for bringing off a good tournament, and congratulations to Spain. They deserve to win. And better luck next time, England. You played well, but just not well enough. Back to you, Dennis. Dennis?
Well, looking at this particular World Cup, it's all about the upset. Many teams did not make playoff or lost in playoff. But the most important thing when we talk about these sports, and after you gain the momentum, if you try to keep it up to the next level, there is a prime example as provided by Spain. It was an easy route since they end up in a round of 16. They end up beating the Switzerland, tough team, by 5-1 to reach the quarterfinal. In quarterfinal, it was a serious business when they deal with Netherlands and won with 2-1. Now remember, Netherlands is the one actually, in my opinion, started the disappointment for the USA when the game was tied, and when your forward missed that penalty kick, and the Netherlands came out with one of the good defense to start pushing USA back to the wall, and they end up being not moving forward in playoff. And then Spain again get into the semifinal, another opponent, the Sweden, who has beat the USA. So look at the challenge. The team who give the toughest competition to USA and draw that game, and they were expected at that time that the toughest defense and challenger, they beat them 2-1, and they did the same thing with the Sweden, who beat the USA, but Spain was able to beat them 2-1. And they carried away this momentum into the final against the England, and they were able to score 1. And that's a beauty that they won everything first time, anything beyond the quarterfinal or round of 16. And that's a beautiful thing to see. The most important thing I hear the Leon is saying about money, that the other sport has to catch up. But at the same time, you have to expose or explore the skill sets. That's where the money comes from. I'm giving you a very simple example. If these only goals scored by Spain number 19 in a final, it's a left foot kick Remember, left foot ball went left of the goalkeeper,
Yes.
and it was on the left post for the goalkeeper. And that's a goal. How many players you can find who can do with this left hand only? We got more than 90% of the players playing at all levels, I can say, are the right-handed. Means their strong hand or comfortable hand is the bottom hand, and they are keeping the left hand at the top. I'm challenging. We are not there. They're playing with the two hands. I'm okay with that. But unfortunately, if you ask them to hit something with the top hand, which is the left at the top bat, and see what the outcome, it will not work. I'm telling you.
Point.
Not only that, I'm telling you, this is the difference between the good legends and why these all young kids and a lot of players are not able to compete because of their deficiency, I call it. They are not able to do with that left leg. If you look at the scenario, if you are bowling, by the time you go in a stride and you are ready to deliver, your entire body is on the left foot, which is the front foot. And you are balancing the whole body to deliver. If you are a batting, your front foot is again left foot. And if you want to go forward and play, guess what? You are shifting your entire body balance to that left leg and position yourself to play the strokes. Imagine the importance of this left hand and leg. Soccer is able to do that. Cricket don't. The another important part, if you check at the professional level or high performance coaching, they usually use this left hand to guide the direction of the ball. If you are throwing, they'll tell you, hey, put the hand towards whatever the direction you want to throw and hit it. If you are bowling, they'll ask you to see the elbow or inside and pointing at the directions you want to go. So this left hand or leg or left side of the body becomes golden. And look at this World Cup. Plain example, two good team played 90 minutes, but this one goal came out from left leg, left side of goalie, made the whole difference. Believe it or not, if the young player starts working on this left hand and left foot, they can be the great one.
Yes, indeed.
Right. Well, coach, you know, with the round of 32, imagine 32 international team got together, and in the long run, just 2 came out in the final. And the Spanish, the soccer from the word go was exciting. There's a lot of brilliance, a lot of skill, and confidence being displayed at all levels. You know, in the final, we saw Spain were always the attacking side, mostly the attacking side. England were mostly the defensive side. So not surprisingly, the attacking got it in the end. This was good, clean, and exciting soccer we've witnessed over the period. And women's soccer is now firmly established as a sport equal in stature as the men's version of soccer. So we will definitely look forward to the next version of the World Cup. And at that time, we're looking forward to seeing the teams such as Jamaica, Nigeria, South Africa, Morocco. Those teams that established themselves this year will come back next World Cup and show how much they have improved since then. That's my final wrap up on that, Coach and Leon.
Just one other point there, Dennis and Jatin. The Australian government have immediately want to put some $200 million into women's soccer. Isn't that interesting?
Excellent.
And of course, it's noteworthy for us to mention that England was the runners-up. And then in third place, Sweden was. and Australia, the home team, in fourth position. You know how important that is to soccer in these parts?
Yes.
And not to mention the importance of Jamaica. Jamaica have been able to draw with two powerhouse, France, and their two prime ministers are understood. They had a bet, and just in good spirit. No riot or anything of that nature. A win. And I thought the referee in the final was top class. She took her time, and that penalty, it could go either way, but she felt that the hand had her part to play in stopping that ball. So, but the goalie, and like Jatin said, going to your left, that lady dived to, she read it right, she dove, flew to the left, and she brought off a big penalty. Because if England had conceded that goal, their spirit would have been down. And James, I thought the coach erred for not bringing her on early. I don't know if it's punishment, but it's all good. But they are satisfied with the silver medal, as it were. And it's a great tournament. I'd love to see it again. And like I said before, there may be consideration of having a World Cup every 2 years, because waiting 4 years is too long. Yes.
Well,
All right.
I can wrap up this thing with a few statements. Number one is definitely soccer wants to stay at number one sport in the world. And you can see that investment in a future development, it's a huge. That includes, you just talk about the incentive. We have seen last year when it was in Morocco, they awarded the huge amount of money to the team winning even just one game. And over here, Australia is spending that extra money even there at the fort. What it is, it inspires and motivates more youngsters to play this sport. That's a huge factor. Absolutely, money, it's because of that fan base and worldwide popularity and the sponsorships, advertisements, and the partnership they have in international events. It's a huge, and that's a huge imperative when it comes to the cricket and soccer, because where the soccer is, they were number one, they are number one, and they like to stay at number one. Going on that cycle, I think it's a perfectly set cycle to me. If you have Olympic coming, immediately following year you have a Olympic, means a FIFA men's.
Yes.
Olympics does the men and women both. And after that Olympic is over, you are attending the FIFA men, and following year you are going FIFA women. So there's only 1 year is in a gap. But they are like well balanced and scheduled. And that is the beautiful thing to see when we discuss about the imperatives between cricket and there's a soccer. Lately, if you look at it, you turn on TV, there's a cricket 24 hours now, I would say.
Yep.
If you can't watch in daytime, you turn on TV at night and they are playing somewhere else. So it's so many games, and it's a very difficult to hold those fans with the quality events, I call it.
Yep.
Cricket is going the quantity way, maybe about dozen T20s all over the world, so many series, and then they have the 3 different formats, and they're playing 3 different World Cups and championships. So in overall, I think soccer still has a lot of advantage by limiting the quality of the game. And the beautiful thing to see when we say the development, which is directly impacted because of the 2 factors we call it. It's a participation and the engagement. And to do so, I will not be surprised that next FIFA World Cup may have 48 teams. They went with 32. In 2026, the men's tourney coming to the USA, Canada, and Mexico, and that will be the world's largest
Largest.
sport event with 48 teams are competing
Imagine.
directly to have the World Cup. None of the other sport has it.
Mhm.
And this year's the performance where there's so many teams which are not top 20, let's say, they all did so well in this FIFA. So I will not be surprised that FIFA will think about it, growing number of more teams. Because this is the other way around compared to cricket. Cricket usually ends up with the 10, 12, 16 as a final in a world event, where the
Yes.
FIFA is looking for the expansion. And it is going well. I like, if you're looking at number 77, Morocco, well, they did the showdown. They give you the all money worth in any game, actually, right? So this is like, there's a lot of things happening, and this is the important thing about the soccer is a more on a fitness. This game takes a lot in terms of running 90 minutes on the field in a different weather, different condition, against different components. And that is the huge attraction. And they will carry it away because a lot of countries who does not play cricket, they are heavily in soccer, like Mexico, Argentina, Chile, Brazil, then you go China, Russia, plenty of countries. Most of them, the Olympic nations, we call it, they are heavily in soccer and football. And that is this game gonna grow, and we will hope, let's say, we have the bigger showdowns in near future.
Yes, indeed. Well, thank you, Coach. Thank you, Leon.
Yeah. One thing we just failed to mention, though, Denise, before we go, is the Fair Player Award that was given to Japan. How important is that? Yeah, that's a great achievement too, you know, and we cannot forget the lady from is it
from Spain,
Japan, that got the Golden Boots award by having the most goals. Yeah, she outstanding achievement for these countries. And
the golden boot is always go to the player who has scored maximum number of goals.
I think she scored 5.
It has nothing to do whether this team has made to playoff final. No. Overall, even in the first round, if they have scored more goals than anyone else in the entire tournament, they get the golden.
Yeah, but I mean, just to have achieved that, you know, among those 32 teams, it's a great asset.
Yep.
Yes. Thank you for that wrap up there, Leon. This is time for us to bid our listeners very happy and peaceful good evening.
Good evening to you too.